Lesson 7 introduces pronouns in two different forms. They've been trailed, but now you see them a bit more systematically. When we get to lesson 12, you'll see them put out fully, and then they'll make an awful lot more sense. But for now, we have a simple form of them. We need to think about, firstly, use, and secondly, form. The basic idea behind a pronoun is it's in place of a noun. So you're looking at words that could take the place of a noun. Greek has a lot of these and can demarcate its people very well. The first example you've got is autos. Autos is both a pronoun and a pronominal adjective. As indeed is hutos. If we look at these sentence examples, you'll see what I mean. Ho anthropos autos lege. The man says. Here, autos means same. So you've got the same man says. And the second sentence means the same thing. The same man says. Change the word order though, so that the autos is now outside of the article and noun, and you've got the man himself says. So it's moved meaning same to being a reflexive word meaning self. Finally, you can drop any noun and use it as a straight pronoun, and you get he says to them. Now, obviously, you don't need the he in he says, but if you look in the phrase to them, you can see that it actually could be quite useful because you don't have to specify who the people that you're speaking to are. Hutos can also be used both with and without a noun. If you use it with a noun, hutos ho anthropos lege, you need the article as well. So you have, in English, this the man. Says, as opposed to this man. Now, obviously in English, you're not going to be saying this the man says. You would cut out the and just say this man says. But in Greek, you do need the article. It does need to be there. So please don't miss it out and do expect to see it. So that's the use. You can use them both with and without nouns. And autos has both a reflexive idea and an idea of sameness. Hutos is what we call demonstrative. Greek has 3 different demonstratives. The other term you might see is deictic. The verb deiknoumi in Greek means I show, which is the same as demonstro in Latin. So deictic pronouns are the Greek equivalent of demonstrative pronouns. So you'll see the language of both deictic and demonstrative used in commentaries. What about form? I've given you here the noun, the personal pronoun, he, she, it, and then the demonstrative pronoun, this. And we'll see how these relate to each other. Logos, logon, logou, logor, logoi, logus, logon, logois. We saw that in chapter 6. Autos, auton, autou, autor, autoi, autus, auton, autois. The word for he, she, it beautifully follows the nouns that you've already learned, which in turn have a relationship with the article, so aren't too difficult. The demonstrative is almost exactly along these lines, so is similarly not difficult. You still have the same endings, What differs slightly now is the start. So it's hutos, like you had ho, and after that a T all the way through. Hutoi, like hoi, and then again a tau, T all the way through. So the nominative line is like with the article, it has an H, a rough breathing, rather than a T. So very, very similar idea to the article. So if you know the article, hutos is easy. If you know the noun, autos is easy. They both follow patterns that you saw in chapter 6. The question is just being able to use them to demarcate the kinds of things you want to demarcate. Dobson then talks about how you apply these to reading and translating the New Testament in a sensible fashion, and that's something we can talk about in class along with looking at the exercises.